We want to welcome everybody to Live in the Renovation Room. We have a great guest tonight. Me and Nita go back years with this brother here, well before the Renovation Room.
Yeah.
Over, I want to say almost over 15 years, I want to say.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As a neighbor, great friend, and phenomenal man. And he's on tonight to talk about, this is his brother George Wilson, and his company is is it Hefe Financial
Yes, sir.
Solutions? Look, hey, look at
I was like,
it.
how you say that?
FA, FA Financial Solutions. Everybody's favorite topic is money and how to. And George is going to be on tonight talking about the services that he and his company provide to help you to hold on to that money and account for it, because that's very important if you're in business.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, indeed.
So,
Welcome, brother.
so yeah, welcome, 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 and we are honored, and it's a pleasure to serve you as the Renovation Room Business Association. So we are excited to have you. Can you tell us a little bit about FA?
Hefe.
Hefe.
Hey, hey.
Hefe. I got to learn. Hefe. Hefe Accounting and Bookkeeping
FA
Services.
Financial Solutions.
Hefe. I got you.
Y'all see that?
Absolutely.
Yes, yes. Wait, no, mine is better because you have a glare.
Right.
No
Yeah,
glare on that one. That's what I'm
yeah,
talking
it was a
about.
glare one, no glare on mine. So tell us a little bit about what you do and a little bit of background on how you got
All right.
started.
So what we do over here at FA Financial Solutions, we do CFO advisory services, bookkeeping, full cycle accounting. Um, I also do and kind of do some focus on operational things because I think sometimes that gets lost in the mix as well in regards to financial budgeting, forecasting,
Excellent.
analyzing your statements, analyzing your P&Ls. A lot of people get well, some people have P&Ls, some people don't
Mm-hmm.
have P&Ls, but sometimes we get a P&L, we look at a P&L, and then we kind of just are either in a comfortable space or an uncomfortable space currently. But what I try to also get people to do is analyze those P&Ls month over month, start to understand what it looks like, what your trends are, what you're thinking in regard to forecasting and your future growth.
Yeah,
So a lot of the CFO advisory services I provide are for not only the current state of your business, but
hmm,
also the future state of your business, where you will be if you do nothing different, where you
right.
can be if you start to do some things differently and make some changes. Um, I started the business because I co-founded a nonprofit organization back in 2009, and we provide educational services to middle and high school students,
Hmm.
kind of gearing them towards being engineers.
Mm.
And as the main business side of the organization for finances and operations, and being able to help to grow the business the way I did, something told me that something I could do was to also take the knowledge that I've learned over the years and kind of help other business owners grow their business, understand the finances and the operations behind their business and what it takes to grow your business and to have financial stability.
Oh, that's awesome. So all these posts I be putting out every day, you can be doing this with me and chiming
Absolutely.
in and dropping your nuggets because some
Absolutely.
stuff you know way more than I do. So that's good to know. So I'll be leaning on you.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
and tell people what P and L
Oh yeah, I was
is.
gonna go there. Yeah.
All right. So,
So profit.
That's
yes.
sorry, we got you, bro.
So P&L, that's
You the pro. You the pro.
your profit and loss statement. So
Yes.
I will try my best to steer away from the abbreviations and
No, it's
the
okay.
finance lingo, but I will keep it so your profit and loss statement, right?
Yes.
And we have businesses that utilize financial software. I recommend all businesses use financial software. I'm
Okay.
not sponsored by anybody. I am not saying that you should use one
What's your
versus the other.
favorite?
M- My favorite is QuickBooks. The
QuickBooks.
reason
Okay, because it's
QuickBooks
easy.
is my favorite is because QuickBooks is very customizable.
Okay.
Even you have people that work in um, areas that might not be necessarily made for QuickBooks, but using it over the years, we've learned how to use classes, projects, and different areas of QuickBooks to kind of make it customizable to a lot of different arenas. Real estate investors, I can show you how to set up QuickBooks to be very effective as a real estate investor. So nonprofit organizations, knowing how to set up classes and different areas in QuickBooks to kind of be customizable to nonprofit organizations. So that's why QuickBooks would be what I consider my favorite.
Okay.
A lot of people use Zero. Zero is, it's newer than QuickBooks. It
Okay.
gets the job done.
Okay.
If you are using spreadsheets, I would suggest you know, everything doesn't happen overnight,
Right.
right? And we have some people who have been successful, who are successful, who and are growing their business using spreadsheets. So I'm not going to say that I'm not going to knock anybody's method of getting their books handled, but what I'm talking about is efficiency,
Yeah.
Mhm.
effectiveness,
Yeah.
and things that you can get on demand in a financial software that you will not be able to get using a spreadsheet. A profit and loss statement. That is something that if I have the proper financial software, I can press 5 buttons and have a profit and loss statement.
Mhm.
I can have a balance sheet.
Yeah.
I can look at my cash
Report.
flow and not have to rack my brain because it's just a report based off of the data that is entered into your system.
Nice, nice, beautiful.
So I do have a question for businesses. If you are an entrepreneur and you're just starting your business, how important and how soon should someone get a bookkeeper, and how soon should they get something like QuickBooks?
So it's this once again. I suggest that when you start your business, you get bookkeeping software. You don't have to pay for bookkeeping software off of the top. There's a free software called Wave. Once
Mm-hmm.
again, it gets the job done. I
Okay.
understand that everybody does not have a budget for the software. Everybody doesn't have a budget for the bookkeeper. That is the reality of where we are.
Right.
I still think that the software in with me would be, I would put it just as important as getting an EIN, opening a
Mm-hmm.
business bank account, separating your business and personal finances. I would put having financial software up there with those items.
Yeah.
If you find free software that you can use it. If
Right.
you want to work through it initially yourself, I think it's okay. I think you should know all of the ins and out and aspects
Yes.
of your business. You
Mm-hmm.
should know how to do your books. You should
Mm-hmm.
understand what a profit and loss statement is. You should understand how to read a balance sheet. You should understand how to analyze your cash flow statements.
Yeah.
With that being
Good job.
said, that's what I'm here for. I can teach you that process. I don't believe in just saying, give me all of your stuff. I'll, you know, get your books in order and I'm just going to drop reports on you. That's not how I operate. I am about teaching
Mhm.
because I think you should know what it means. You should have an understanding. I don't want anyone to ever walk away from a meeting with a bookkeeper, even if I'm not your bookkeeper.
Right.
If you currently have a bookkeeper, you should not walk away from a meeting with a bookkeeper with reports and not understand the reports, not
Mm-hmm.
understand what's on the reports, not understand how to take 3 to 4 months of reports and get some good outcomes from them.
Later.
Because
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
you have to
good.
know the direction. All
Yeah.
bookkeepers don't provide advisory services.
Yeah.
All bookkeepers don't give you all of the tools and knowledge. Some of them, you pay them, they give you your information and they keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I don't knock that because for some people, that is their process.
Right.
I think you should know and you should understand and you should be able to come up with some of these answers to what happened because that's a question, right? That's always a
Mm-hmm.
question. What happened? You should be able to
Yeah.
answer that question by looking at your reports.
Oh, I love that. Good job. That's some good nuggets right there.
Well, brother, I just want to chime in real quick. First of all, thank you
Okay.
for giving us the chance and opportunity to join our new Renovation Room Business Association.
Absolutely.
You joining is huge. I know I know how you get down and how you move as far as when it comes to business. So I really appreciate it. And so everybody, please touch down with this brother, check in with him and his business, and we'll be listing all your links and
Absolutely.
everything going forward. But one thing that you just touched on, man, that's something that's huge in the renovation room community as a whole. One word that you just said really just struck me is just the education piece,
Absolutely.
because a lot, as you know, many of us are first time business owners. We don't have the generations of knowledge imparted into us. A lot of us are first time business owners, and we don't understand that you need to have those books in order. That's typically, sometimes really that should be one of the first things, right there at the beginning.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, including us, at some points play catch up when it's time to grow your business and scale. And you can't scale and you can't get those grants and loans and other types of things if you don't have your books in order. We've
Absolutely.
run into
I
that
agree.
dealing with certain orgs. So I just want to thank you for that, man. And I definitely look forward to more of that with you, with
Yeah,
the community as
definitely.
a whole,
Yeah,
for sure.
So when
and
you
people
say you,
can drop questions and ask questions. Like I said, it's an educational piece, a part of this too. There are also other services I provide. Once again, people have bookkeepers, but if you want to have just a straight financial analysis, I can provide that service to you. If
okay,
you are struggling with your budget, I think that's another thing that all businesses should have.
Yeah, yeah,
We sometimes jump in, we have something that's good. We have a skill that is good. We're able to create a business and generate revenue.
hmm
And that's how it starts with a lot of entrepreneurs. And I think it's a good thing, right? If you are strong-willed and you're able to take that leap of faith and
hmm
go out for yourself and start a business and you have something that works, I think that's a great thing. We can generate revenue and it looks good. I just want us to be prepared for the future and know how to move effectively and efficiently to grow our business, because I don't think anyone gets in business to stay at the level they are when they started.
no,
So that's one of the things
please,
that I talk about. Analyzing your cash flow, doing annual forecasting, doing annual budget.
I
If
love
you
that.
don't understand or know how to do that, I provide those services as well. So if you have a
Yep.
bookkeeper and you're comfortable with your bookkeeper, but they're not providing those extra services, then I provide those services as well.
nice, nice,
Okay.
nice. We need to make an appointment.
I,
We will be making an
I
appointment.
have a free 30-minute consultation. So if you go to my
Nice,
website,
nice,
go to my
nice.
website, you can sign up, you get a free 30-minute consultation. And I'm answering questions, I'm making suggestions. And like I said, for me, part of the education piece is I'm not just sitting here like, sign up for everything that I offer. But if it's
Right.
something that I offer that will make your business books better,
hmm
then let's sit down and talk about it.
Nice, nice.
So I know that we're talking about services for companies and entrepreneurs. How do this work for someone who just maybe just have a career that's making, they want to manage their finances? How does that work for that type of, can you do offer services for that, those type
Some
of
of the
people?
stuff translates, some of it does translate. Once again, the bookkeeping, no. I'm not going to do personal
Yeah,
bookkeeping.
Because then
But
that's
when
more like an
when we start
accountant.
talking about budget, I mean,
yeah, possible.
and that's a good way to think about it, right? If you
Hmm.
have a personal budget, you should have a budget for your business. If you have a
Right.
budget for your business, you should have a personal budget.
Right.
Forecasting, if it all works hand in hand. So yes, I'm able to give those same processes to individuals.
Because I was thinking too, like if someone wants to start a business
Yep,
or they want to do an investment and they say, you know what, I want to come and see where I am and help, can you help
absolutely.
me do, get myself together and with the bookkeeping? Is that a service like you would can provide for to
Yes,
them? Okay.
yes, for somebody that's looking to start a business, absolutely.
Yes.
So George, would you say then? It's pardon me if this is not a dumb question. I know it's no such thing as a dumb question,
Not at
but
all.
would you say that you fall under for as far as businesses, you're basically fall under a financial planner
Mhm.
title or
The only reason I say no is because it's for businesses.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Okay.
we don't use that. That's more of a
That's a
term
personal thing.
for individuals. Yes, when you
Okay.
start
Okay.
talking about. So
Gotcha.
for me, it's more financial management, right? When we
Gotcha.
start
Gotcha.
talking about businesses, it's financial management. Planning is a part of it. Forecasting is a part of it.
Hmm.
Budgeting is a part of it. But it's really more financial management as the umbrella when you start talking on the business side.
Gotcha. 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 I'm taking notes, bro.
Oh,
Sorry.
Right.
absolutely,
For
absolutely.
sure. For sure. So, like I said, like as you're aware, we started off with the group is about seven, just made 7 years, March 1st.
Yes,
And about a couple years ago, actually about 3, 4 years ago, we recognized the need to organize the contractor space, which is
yes.
which is a bit challenging, but it is something that I'm passionate about, crazy or not. But what I've seen in doing that is that some of the businesses are taking advantage of the education piece, because that's one thing I was going to ask you as well. Do you do like workshops,
Same.
in-person workshops or virtual workshops
So
at
I
all?
I I don't have any schedule, but I'm definitely willing to do some. So if
Okay.
you all
Okay.
have the
Okay. Okay.
space for that, then
Yeah.
all you have to do is coordinate with me and we can sign it up and kind of, go in more depth and I can have some visual aids and things like that. So
Oh,
absolutely.
okay. Cool. Because my line, when I first got more talking to you more in depth about your business, the first thing I went to was, okay, a lot of our contractor community
Yeah.
definitely need these types of services. We needed
Yep.
it, we need it. So that's because as you talk about things like MBE, people are trying to elevate their business and get certain
Absolutely.
certifications
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And the first thing that they want to do is for you to open those books,
And
sometimes
that's my
like 2 years, you know.
they
So
want years, yes, they want
yeah.
years of books. And if you're new, they want and here's where I'll talk about they want a budget,
Mhm.
right? They want 3 years of a budget. So
Mhm.
I can go in as a brand new business and apply for my MBE and say, no, I don't have any revenue on the books, or I have not even been in business for a year. So now what they're saying is, I need a budget. I need to see what your
Mhm.
plan is for the next 3 years. What are you
Right.
going to do? Where is this money going to come from? So that is what they would like to see then from a new business. MBE, nonprofits, if you want to apply, use your 1023 to apply for 501c3 non-tax exempt status.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
If you don't have books from what has been going on, they want to understand what your future plans are, at least for the first 3 years of operation.
Nice. That's great information. So they if you don't have the years of
Experience.
records, then they you can forecast years, but it
That's
has to
right.
be proper.
That's
Oh,
right.
that's
Yeah.
wow, that's great news for sure.
And so I know that on this flyer, it says that you also offer payroll services.
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay, so can
I
you?
do. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say
Okay, so
explain it.
yeah, so individuals that have either 1099s or W-2 employees, you can do payroll through QuickBooks, or you can use an external payroll processor. Paylocity, Gusto, ADT.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many of them. But what I do is if you have people that are working, hourly workers, salary workers, what I do for you is I process the payroll, make sure everyone's paid on time. I do the 941 quarterly filings. I do your 940 annual filings, and I make sure all of your tax deposits are made on time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
So what I like to tell people is I want to give you back at least 100 to 120 hours of your time annually. So
Yeah.
I understand people do their own books. People categorize their own transactions. People reconcile their own accounts. The time that you're doing that, you can be spending building your business because your mind, your time, your energy, and your effort is your passion, and your passion is the business that you have made.
Yeah.
So spend your time doing that and let me take care of the back end for you.
Hey man, time is money for
Yeah,
sure.
that is correct.
The older I get, the more I realize how valuable time is for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we definitely will be reaching out. His website, by the way, is Jefe Financial Solutions.com. That's JEFE financialsolutions.com.
Hefe.
Hefe Solutions, financialsolutions.com. They specialize in bookkeeping, payroll services, and financial statements for businesses.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else you want for us to know about your services and how people can get in contact with you outside of the website? You want to leave us with some more information about
Um,
you? About
so
not
I,
you, but your business.
I was about to say, if you want information about me, no, but I do, I have found that in this space, I do have to say some things that usually I don't say, I kind
Mhm.
of just move and work, but I've been doing it for over 20 years, right? I'm co-founder of a nonprofit organization.
Right.
We built that organization to over a $2.5 million annual budget. So for me, the experience that I bring is not only in finances and financial
Mhm.
management, but it's business ownership,
Okay.
right? So it's being able to help you understand the operational side of your business along with the financial side of your business. So being able to give you the strong foundation of policies and procedures, standard operational procedures, making sure that you're checking off all of the boxes to have a successful business. One thing that I was told a long time ago, and I didn't listen when we first started our business, but set your company up like a Fortune 500. Grow into your company. Don't get caught trying to have,
Like coach.
play catch up. Grow into your
Mhm.
company. So build your business. If you are confident and you are secure and you feel like you're going to have a very successful business, set it up like it's a Fortune 500 and grow
Facts.
into it. And
Mm,
once
mm, mm.
again, you'll spend more time doing the part that you love within
Mhm.
your business and not worrying about the financial and the operational stuff.
I think I hear what you're saying is
Yeah.
set up your departments and hire or work with professionals that can help you to get to recapture some of your time, and that gives you more time to work on your core product, whatever that may be. Is that kind of
Absolutely.
what?
And
Yeah.
even if you and here's the thing, even if you are doing a lot of those jobs, you still want to have it set up. So when you get your financial forecasting together, you're able to start putting people in the positions that you've already created.
Mhm.
So you can have, and I know some people think it's crazy, but you can create an org chart, right? And you can say,
Mhm.
I know I want to have these 10 positions. But if you want to have a current org chart, put your name in all 10 positions. As you
Mhm.
Yeah.
hire people, you're just replacing your name because as an entrepreneur, we don't just do one thing, right?
Me
We're
too.
Right.
not
Right.
No.
Right. Right.
just the CEO. You're the CEO, you're the CFO, you're the COO,
The receptionist,
you're
do
the
everything.
assistant, you're the receptionist. You you are doing it all. But don't be
Absolutely.
afraid to set up that org chart with all of those positions you want. Drop your name everywhere of what you're doing right now. And the gratification you get once you start putting other people in those positions and growing
I
your
like that.
business will be awesome.
That's
I like
phenomenal.
that.
That's
That's so
phenomenal,
cool,
bro. Yeah.
Marcus. I
Yeah.
like that. I like that.
That's kind of when I first, how you heard the statement, you want to spend more time working on your business than in your business. Is that how it
Yeah,
goes?
You
absolutely.
want that.
Yeah, yeah,
You
you want to spend more time. So when I finally learned what that meant, I was
yeah,
blown away. Like what you that's basically what you're saying. You have to build the actual business. And then once you
absolutely.
start, you build the infrastructure of the business, in other words.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
He's good with making org charts.
I had to
He
learn.
make all the org charts, and I'll be like,
I had to learn, bro.
but I do get it. So tell me, what do you think that as small businesses in our community,
Yes.
we start with, we'll get a sole proprietorship or we'll
Hmm.
get an LLC, and then, but we don't take the necessary steps to make sure that we have everything in place. So is
And
it
that's
lack of education, or is it just how what do you think that is, and how do you think we can fix that?
it can be lack of education. It can be ease of operation. Because I mean, the reality is me by myself, I can start an LLC. I can have it's 6:33 p.m. I can have an LLC on record
Mhm.
within the state of Illinois by tomorrow for about $275.
Right.
I don't need anyone else. I don't need any outside influence. If I want to start a corporation,
Mm-hmm.
I have to have a board of directors. I have to
Yeah.
have bylaws. There are so many more things that I have to start a corporation, but these things are not hard to
Right.
acquire. So
Right.
sometimes we go with what potentially is easiest.
Mhm.
I can mix and match my personal and business finances if I'm an LLC. So I don't have to have what some would say is the financial discipline
Right.
as if I'm a corporation. So it could be fear,
Yeah.
it could be lack of knowledge, or it could be ease of just, hey, I could have an LLC and I don't have to have anybody else's input. I can just do it all on my own. And there's
Right.
nothing wrong with that. It depends on your vision, right? Your
Mm.
vision is the driver in regard to LLC or corporation. That's my strong opinion on
I
it.
agree.
So if your vision is I want to have full-time employees working for me that are W-2 employees under payroll, I'm not going to start a LLC. I'm going to start a corporation. Some
Mm-hmm.
people don't like to pay themselves a salary. And what I mean is a documented salary. Because
Right.
if you're a corporation under the business that owned, I was a W-2 employee. I had a salary.
Right.
Everything was documented. Yes, it
Mhm.
was my business, but that's the structure that we wanted. So that's what you have to
Right.
have. Some people
Right.
don't want that. Some people might have a fear of if I give myself this salary, what happens if I don't generate enough revenue to be able to compensate myself?
Right.
Those are things that we talk about. There are ways around that. If you're a corporation, you can, and the glitz and glamour come, right, with the hard work. You can start your salary lower and then number one, you can give yourself a bonus at the end of the year if you're a corporation, but
Right.
start your salary lower, generate the revenue, and then as you grow, your salary grows. We
Mm-hmm.
just have to take the
One
proper
nuggets.
steps. And that's the thing, because if you're doing the hard work, you deserve the compensation. So you do the hard work, your revenue increases, pay yourself more,
Mm-hmm.
This is
you
powerful,
know.
man. This is
Yeah.
because you get a lot of, and nothing against knocking what anybody else does, but you hear a lot about LLCs and the advantages of those, but you don't hear about corporations. And you just outlined some very important advantages to setting up a corporation.
A
You
lot
Yeah.
don't
of
really
people
hear
talk
that a lot.
about
That's great.
taxes and stuff. They would
And I
say
was
that.
just about to say that thresholds, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I look at different thresholds when we start talking about tax breaks because the reason you have so many freedoms as a LLC, the government is going to tax you on every dollar, whether you call it salary, whatever you can call it what you want to call it,
Yeah.
you're going to get taxed.
Yeah.
So they're not looking for you because they're going to tax you on every dollar you report.
That's.
When you become a corporation, you can have so many tax breaks, you can have so many additional write-offs. Your salary is taxed. That additional 15.3% tax that they put when you're LLC, you don't see that as a corporation.
Mm.
Even if you are a LLC, if you look and you see that you pay yourself $60,000 a year, you can go to a S corp designation, which
Mhm.
Yeah.
means you basically say, hey, my salary is $60,000 a year. Then you go in and you do the tax filings, you do your 941s, and it's just payroll tax. You're not paying that additional 15.3% on your salaried amount.
Mhm.
It's you don't even
What?
you don't even you don't even have to pay 941s quarterly. You don't have to pay them quarterly. You can
Wow.
file them quarterly at zero. And in that fourth quarter, you can just dump 60,000. You're going to pay the same amount in tax, but you can kind of give a gauge of what your salary is going to be. And then in the fourth quarter, just be prepared to pay your taxes. Because as
Right.
we all know, that's you're not going to not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Right.
just
Right.
about your
Right.
strategy. It's about, and once again, strategic planning. Strategic
Mhm.
planning is not just for operations of a business, it's for the financial management of your business as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's
And
this is good.
I noticed in the comments somebody said this is stuff we should be taught in school. Absolutely.
Yeah, for
It is
sure.
something
For sure.
you should be taught in school.
Who said that?
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, see.
I'll sneak and pop some of the
No, I
comments
I
love
know.
on.
it.
I
I love it.
appreciate
I
it.
love it. I love it. You know,
And
it's my phone there, so I
this
can't.
Stop
this is
wearing my phone.
my first Facebook Live. So I've watched many of them,
You're doing great, bro. You're
but
doing
this is my
phenomenal, man.
first one that I'm a part of. So,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is an
you're doing
experience,
great.
but
Oh, somebody asked, what separates you from QuickBooks?
what separates me from QuickBooks?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, QuickBooks is a tool.
Right.
And
Yeah.
we have people, you all basically this group that I'm in, that's like me asking what separates you from a hammer. I'm not being
Yeah.
funny, but
No, it's
Yeah.
a
That's right.
hammer is a tool.
Right. Right.
Without
but
Right.
you gotta use
without
it.
the person having a hammer in their hand, then the hammer is just going to sit there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not saying that I am better than QuickBooks. I am just a phenomenal user of QuickBooks. I
Yeah.
understand how QuickBooks works. I understand how to categorize transactions properly. I
Right.
understand how to get QuickBooks to reconcile your bank statements to your actual transactions within QuickBooks. And I understand how to give you the information you need to grow your business.
Right. Right.
So QuickBooks,
Right.
if you're using QuickBooks already, I think it's great. I think
Right.
we just need to understand the levels of utilizing our P&Ls, our cash flow statements, and our balance sheets.
Because I'm
You
sure
know
we
what I?
are not using
You know
QuickBooks
what I'll
to the
do,
fullest.
George? I'll equate it to something that maybe the audience can understand a little better. They honestly you explain it well, but I'll explain it on more layman's terms. That's like a nail gun. A nail gun is a tool. It's a very dangerous tool. It's a nail gun. You can literally shoot a nail into a person if you hold it the right way.
The
So
wrong.
there's the wrong way, the wrong or right, depending on who hold it and their intent. So what he's saying is it's a difference between a beginner using a nail gun and someone that's a seasoned carpenter using a nail gun.
Mm.
Nail guns, there have been instances of people nailing a nail through their hand, foot, the whole nine. So you could pick up and use QuickBooks, but if you're a seasoned professional, you can use that QuickBooks tool more effectively and in a more effective way. I think I explained that right. Right? Is
Yeah,
that?
it
That
is.
makes sense.
And also, it's utilizing the person as a learning tool as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, I'm not going to just do the things and just give you a report and walk away. I'm going to
Right.
make sure you understand the details of your report. I
Right.
I have, certain plans where if you sign up with me once every other month or quarterly, depending on your schedule and how you do it, everything that I do, we get online, we log on, I share my screen, and I show you what I'm doing. Because
Okay.
like I said, I think you should know how to do
Right.
it. You should know how to categorize your transactions. You should know the whys. Some people are categorizing transactions incorrectly. So I can show you why it should be categorized one way versus another and just basically share that knowledge as
Nice.
well.
Nice. Nice.
And
Go ahead.
someone asked, what's your title here at this company?
I am the founder and principal of Hefe Financial Solutions,
Yeah, I hear that.
and my background is in finance, business and finance for over 20 years.
Founder and principal. Y'all let that sink in.
Yeah.
You talking to the man here that built this company as he's explaining, and thankfully in his live. You're doing great, by the way, bro.
Thank you,
Seriously, you're
thank
doing
you.
really great.
Yeah, because you knew don't put a lot on my mind, and I'm like, okay, what we need. We've already been in the catch up phase of trying to
Yeah,
get
for sure.
stuff together because we thought we were going to do it this way, then we said we're going to do this, and then it was like, so that's where we
And
are.
I
And
provide those services as well. I just had a client where I went back to 2022 to clean
Mm.
up the books from the service that they were using in regards to, I think it was Wave, but just making sure everything is categorized properly. I found a lot of you know, transactions that weren't categorized or they were lumped in that that account that says uncategorized. So it adds
mhm.
them to your numbers. But once again, if you really want to know what you're spending and where, then you have to make sure all of your transactions are categorized. So I
Yeah.
do provide cleanup services as well. If you're, if you're
I'm
not
gonna need
comfortable or don't think your books are right from prior years, I can provide that service as well.
Yeah, and I'll take the hit on that because in the past, I've been mighty aggressive, in the past, I've been a super optimist, and I've learned to taper that and do things the right way. This young lady was on me. The budget is a great example that you started
Yeah,
talking about. I didn't place as much importance on that at the beginning. I want to go, get stuff done, but it's not smart to go shopping and you don't know how much you need to spend, can spend, or
absolutely,
should spend.
absolutely, absolutely.
So
I'm a little tight with the purse a little
thankfully,
bit,
It's
except
nothing
when
wrong with,
it's
and that's a good thing. But I mean, and here's the thing about it. What I think also people should understand, these are internal documents, unless you're
Mhm.
trying to get funding or you're trying to get something that you have to share these documents. But there's no one that says if I create a budget in December for, so December 2024, I created a budget for 2025. No one says that you can't change the budget, right? As
yeah.
things change and things happen, have a budget revision period. Say mid-year, I'm going to analyze my budget once again. If you have that financial software, I can run a profit and loss statement and I can say, hey, I said I was going to spend $50,000 in this space. I spent 45. I said I was going to spend $10,000 in this space. I spent 20. I said I was going to generate $175,000 in revenue. I've generated 225,000.
Mhm.
Redo your budget. Do a mid-year budget revision.
Mhm.
It's not
Mhm.
it's not like, oh, if because that's what some people feel.
Yeah.
I create this budget, that's the end all be all, and I can't do anything different for the year. No, you can
Mhm.
make changes, you can revise it, because there's no way you're gonna tell me that if in your budget you said you were gonna earn $500,000, if you got an opportunity to earn 700,000, you're gonna say no because my budget didn't say I was gonna bring in that
Right.
extra money. You're gonna revise your budget to take in that extra revenue
Pass.
and update your
I do have a
expenses. So it
question.
works both ways.
So for content creators, influencers who kind of get paid in different places, like multiple streams of income, like
Yes.
Facebook, YouTube, and all of that. How do you how would you work with that person to kind of get them organized? Because that's their career, so to speak.
So basically what you do is you when I earlier when remember when I started talking about classes.
Mm-hmm.
So in QuickBooks, there is a section for classes. So what I can do is I can set up where it would look like you have three budgets, right? You have your
Okay.
YouTube budget, you have your Facebook budget, you have your Instagram budget. I can run a P&L that will talk about your entity. So if you're your
Okay.
entity, I can give you numbers that show you overall generated $1 million of revenue. But if I break it down into classes, I can say that, hey, you made 42,000 via YouTube, 62,000 via Facebook, and 195,000 via Instagram. Also, that will help you then say, man, do I need to put more time and energy to bring up the other two, or do I just need to focus on the one that's generating more revenue? Um, you put your expenses in there as well. So, are you doing the same thing on all three platforms?
Right.
Are you generating different content for each
Right.
platform? So it's just about how you set, once again, how you set up the structure is
Yeah.
what's going to give you the outcomes that you're looking for to understand, and that's just like with everything else, right? And, think about companies that all of a sudden they stop selling something and you're like, I
Right.
wonder why they stopped selling that. Because they had something set up that will give you numbers on that one particular item. And it's basically saying it's costing me $100,000, but it's generating $100,000. But in order for me to put that item out, it cost me $125,000.
Mhm.
I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
that item is gone.
Mhm.
Right.
So
Yep.
we have to think about how you set up the structure of your business will basically be able to give you outcomes on, you can do it on specific items, or you could do it on specific services that you provide. I can set that structure up where you will then be able to identify the good, the bad, and the ugly within your business.
Whew.
Nice.
I love that because I was just thinking that, my little $5 here and $5 there, I may need somebody to manage that for me. So,
Yeah,
but
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
yeah,
So
man. I should have
that's
been
a
when
good
we
thing.
we gonna talk.
them years when we were sitting in the backyard with the cigars, man. I should have been asking you different questions.
Yes, absolutely,
Y'all was in
No,
your
but
absolutely.
mind frame talking about
yes,
I
hey,
was about
hey.
to say,
No, but y'all, I've been knowing this brother over, like I said, I think over 15 years. I think I'm safe and so.
absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, so he's a great, great, great brother. The trust factor is a non-factor with this guy, and he's an extreme professional. He has been in business, 20 years, like he said, because when I met him, he was already an entrepreneur. So I highly recommend you guys reach out to George and Hefe Financial Solutions, and man, we definitely would love to work with you to put together so either virtual or in-person workshops as you as you
Yeah.
as you see fit. Because I think sharing the message, man, I mean, going in on corporations, I just learned a few things, and maybe what we have, maybe it should be a corporation or instead of an
And you could
LLC.
always,
It's a
and that's
reason.
another beautiful thing about businesses. You could always change. You could change the structure of the
Mhm.
business. So if you started out as an LLC, you can change. So if you want to keep your name, you want to keep certain things, you can change over to a corporation. There are things that you need to make sure you're ready to deal with
Mhm.
before you push that
Yeah,
button.
yeah,
But as
for
long
sure.
as you're ready, you can do it. Or you can do a S corp designation for your taxes, where you
Mhm.
can stay at LLC, but you do a S corp designation, and that just saves you money based off of your revenue and your payroll, how much you're paying yourself and or other people. You can make that designation as well.
Got you. Man, well, we appreciate your time, bro. I know you a busy brother, so is there anything? It's definitely where can people where we know for social media, and I'm gonna do my personal best and need to spread the word on you and
Absolutely.
your business for sure. Is there anything else you want the people to know? Anything we
You
might
have
miss?
Instagram, TikTok.
Yes, I have no TikTok.
That
I
ain't not
do have an
dancing,
Instagram.
bro.
Not dance.
I, I have Instagram. It is Hefe Financial Solutions is my Instagram
Okay.
and my Facebook business account as well.
Okay.
And my website is www.jefe financialsolutions.com. Once again, people, you can go on, you could do a 30-minute consultation. It is free. Once
Mhm.
again, you can ask questions, you can learn some things, and you can also sign up for some services. But it's not just about the services, but there are some things you can learn, and there's some things that you can take from that consultation to help you in your endeavors as well.
Yes, so this right here was like
Yeah, for sure.
priceless.
We will be signing up for a consultation soon,
Absolutely.
and we definitely spreading the word, man. We appreciate you, bro.
Yep.
For me to you, appreciate you. I call him Big George. If y'all see him in person, y'all will see why. You know what I
He's
mean.
like 7 feet tall.
So don't mess with him either. Don't think that this brother spitting all these lingo and all that you can test him. No, man. But I appreciate you, bro. You a value to our community, and I look forward to growing with you going forward for sure.
Thank you. Thank you. And yes, whoever put that in the chat, that is
Oh
correct.
yeah.
Hefe
See,
Financial
he on the.
Solutions.
Right.
Wait. I'm about to hold on. How is George on the comment more than you?
Because he is doing really great. I'm telling you, I'm
First
normal.
time. Yeah,
I'm
first.
normal with this. This ain't his first time. This ain't his first rodeo apparently.
Man, he always.
Look, my phone don't look. It's still at Patrick. This
Oh
information
yeah.
is to be learned
Yeah.
and taught in school. That's all I get.
And
Oh, we got to check that out.
somebody asked, do I do taxes? I don't do taxes right now. I do have a great tax partner that I can set you up with. Also, one of my packages that I have actually comes with taxes at the end of
Nice,
every year because I have a partner that I work with doing taxes. So I do have
nice.
a tax service provider. So
Cool,
full,
cool. And then what
full
we'll do,
cycle.
so
I
this,
told you I'm full cycle, full service.
my man,
Yes.
one stop shop.
We're
That's
gonna
right.
update this and
Yeah.
put all your information in the top of we was trying to do it, but Facebook won't let us be
And then
creative.
we convert it as we do with these to YouTube, to where to live
Okay.
forever. And
Thank
then,
you.
And
Perfect.
we're
yeah,
gonna make
share.
I, I,
shorts and
Yeah.
everything.
I
It's
was
gonna
told
live forever.
I was told earlier it would live forever ever because when I was like, I'm doing a Facebook Live, I told my partner, I'm like, I'm doing a Facebook Live. She was like, but you know that I'm like forever. I said, but it's live. How is it live? So I learned today that it will be forever.
So
Well,
yeah, you download. It'll stay in the group for 30 days because
Okay.
they delete after 30 days. But we
Okay.
download it, we chop it up, put it on
yeah.
YouTube, and make shorts
But you did
Perfect.
great, bro.
and
Thank you.
TikTok.
Thank
Man,
you all. Thank you.
I'll be honest, we've done
Nah,
a few of these by now, and you
Yeah,
feel good.
that
I just say
information.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, the information that you
Yeah,
provided, I'm telling you, I'm gonna tag you in everything
okay.
that I'm doing now. And I'm like, George,
yeah, yeah.
chime
I
in because go ahead.
okay. I'm going back to the comments. I do not provide audit services because I am not a CPA. So I would not do an audit. What I do audit prep though. I get your books ready for an audit, but I do not do official external audits.
Oh, and here's one fact. The brother that said Patrick Martin,
Hmm.
he said this is knowledge that we should have got taught in high school. The power of what I've learned about social media and the power of community and networking using these new tools. This brother just signed the Contractors Association today, just
Nice.
today.
Mhm.
And
Nice.
he's as a contractor. We literally had a conversation with him earlier about it's more than just get leads. We try to build a community where we link with professionals, attorneys,
Absolutely.
Well, we're
now
powerful in
biz
knowledge and
bookkeepers.
Absolutely.
That's being our first, actually maybe first, second, maybe bookkeeper in the ranks. But we got a bunch of hundreds of people, if not thousands, that need you guys.
Absolutely.
And I think what you do is underrated.
yeah.
As far as businesses, like they look at the books last, you know.
It is.
So
And that's the thing about it though. I think it is the reality of it, yes. But I think the beauty of it is because you have professionals out here providing that service, you can spend your time building your business.
Yeah.
I will spend my time making sure your books are in order.
that's right. Well, I think that's it, man.
I'm excited.
We got some work to do.
Definitely,
Yes,
definitely.
sir. Well,
And
man, we
We
appreciate
must
you.
know that
ready.
we have work to do.
I'm ready. I'm also ready to work. So, bring on those consultations, bring on those contracts, and I'm ready to go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man. You a good evening, bro.
All right,
Enjoy
you
the
do the
rest of the
same.
spring break. And talk to you soon, brother.
All right,
Thank you.
definitely. Everybody.